Capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Well, the kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started, and we are underway from Ford Field. And able to get this out to the 25. In motion goes the tight end. Right to the air. Here is Goff. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
In motion goes Patrick. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 more there and another first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. To the air again. Goff. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 34.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Gibbs, they'll try to run this one in. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
From the gun, here's Goff. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bates' kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. That was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get 3, the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never get those back, but there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
The short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down.
Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive 1st down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They had gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
On the ground, it's right.
And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now run by Gibbs.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
They'll try the air now with Goff. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Goff now looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Here's Prescott.
Able to hit his target, Lamb.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now Prescott. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Throwing, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 6-0 our score after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. Here is third down and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Cowboys are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
To throw is Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Time for another look at this Lions offense. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 6. Off play action. Here's Goff. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under for this offense.
Now Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up second down.
Goff throwing again.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Now it's Goff.
That is caught. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
To throw is Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Here's Goff.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
4th down, a give to Gibbs.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Prescott down. Flush to his right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Prescott from the gun. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
St. Brown in motion right.
Open man right side is St. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Back to throw. Goff.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. First carry now for David Montgomery. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Goff now to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Patrick. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
And his throw here's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Gone. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. To the air again. Goff. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Prescott. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Prescott to throw it. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles, all passes, all completions, and just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come, their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion left. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Now Goff. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now 2nd and 3. Here's Goff. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 37. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Throwing again is Goff. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now a 2nd and 2. A shotgun snap for Goff. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
St. Brown in motion right. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Goff now looking to throw. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Tim Patrick, a 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's Williams to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Prescott. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Call it a gain of 4. Leaves them with options here on 2nd and just a yard.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Prescott now. Left side to Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone. Mark him at the 21. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Dak on the option left, and holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing, Prescott. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And Detroit back in possession of the football.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would, and in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
In motion, the tight end. Now a play fake, and it's Goff.
That one let go deep for Laporta.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play there for Detroit. 48 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Here's Goff.
That's complete to Laporta.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Goff. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll run with Gibbs.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Gibbs.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
They'll try to run with Gibbs.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Jahmyr Gibbs
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions have extended their lead to 15 now here in the 4th. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers and let's get this one in.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Brian Branch from the secondary in on the tackle.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
The offense on third down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kevontae Turpin, 49 yards. And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So this is now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Aubrey good with a PAT as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Out of the gun, Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
2nd and 10.
Now Goff.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Goff.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
The Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
54 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. Fighting his way through contact. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Again, it's Williams. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Prescott firing quickly here, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Prescott. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. That is caught. Oh, he sheds himself free. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And again, it's Prescott. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
He already came.
Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Another shot now for this Lions offense. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board, and of course the guy throws.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And with that pass, CD, he's now over 400 yards in the game. And even in a pass-first league, that is still a tough benchmark to hit.
And all week leading up to this one, all we read, heard about was the confidence he had that he could put up big numbers. Kudos to him for coming out here with that belief in himself and for making it happen.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least make it a 5-point cushion. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
This one swung out to Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Prescott. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's Dak. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Dak. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly
both?
what you're doing. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
To throw, Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions, as we say.